people think about Harry Potter leaving Privet Drive for the final time, it's often remembered as an action sequence. Spells in the sky, broomsticks racing through clouds, danger everywhere. But in the story itself, this moment isn't about spectacle, it's about closure. Harry isn't escaping a house anymore. He's leaving behind the last place that ever tried to keep him hidden. And at the center of that moment is one of the quietest but most important objects in the entire series, Sirius Black's motorbike. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Harry's departure from Privet Drive is heavy with finality. The house is empty. The protection is ending. There's no relief in leaving, only acceptance. Hagrid insists on taking Harry himself, fully aware of the danger, because this isn't just transport, it's responsibility. J.K. Rowling wrote a line captures the weight of the moment perfectly. "This is it, Harry. You're leaving Privet Drive for the last time." There's no celebration in that sentence, just acknowledgement. Another quiet line reinforces the emotional distance. The house stood there, silent and empty, as though it had never known him. The motorbike doesn't represent freedom here, it represents transition. Harry is no longer protected by childhood rules or borrowed safety. He's being carried forward because there is no other option left. The motorbike used in this escape isn't new to Harry's story. It's the same enchanted motorbike that carried Harry as a baby to Privet Drive in Philosopher's Stone. In the opening chapter of the very first book, Hagrid arrives after the fall of Voldemort. Hagrid arrived on a motorbike which had fallen out of the sky. That journey marked the beginning of Harry's life in hiding, delivered quietly under cover of darkness into a place that never truly felt like home. 17 years later, the same bike returns, but this time Harry isn't asleep in Hagrid's arms. He's aware, he's marked, and he's being hunted. Sirius Black is gone, but his presence remains through the machine he loved. The motorbike becomes a thread connecting the very start and the very end of Harry's protected life. It carries Harry into hiding as a baby and carries him out of it as a young man. That symmetry isn't accidental. It's one of the quiet structural choices that makes Harry's story feel complete. In the book, the escape is tense and fragmented. The focus stays on Harry's thoughts, the danger around him, and the knowledge that people are risking their lives for him. In the film, the same scene becomes explosive and chaotic. Spells tear through the sky. Death Eaters close in. The chase is cinematic and relentless, but the emotional core remains the same in both. This is the last time Harry leaves Privet Drive, and nothing about it is safe anymore. The motorbike, heavy and exposed, contrasts sharply with the broomsticks around it. It feels slower, more vulnerable. Harry isn't being whisked away. He's being carried one last time. Behind the scenes, the motorbike was treated as far more than a prop. Multiple versions were built. Reinforced models for stunt sequences, rig-mounted bikes for aerial shots, practical builds for close-up filming. The filmmakers leaned into the bike's weight. It doesn't glide. It lurches through the air. It feels unstable. That was deliberate. This escape wasn't meant to feel graceful. It was meant to feel dangerous, improvised, and barely held together, just like the plan itself. From this moment onward, the tone of the series shifts fully into conflict. In LEGO Harry Potter, years 5 to 7, the escape from Privet Drive appears early in the game and acts as a clear transition point. Gameplay focuses on movement and survival rather than victory. Flying forward, dodging incoming attacks, protecting Harry rather than defeating enemies, Hagrid remains firmly in control of the motorbike, reinforcing his role as protector, while Harry stays reactive in the sidecar, rather than powerful. Even in Lego form, the escape isn't framed as a triumph. It's something you survive and then immediately move on from. The game understands what the books and films do. This moment isn't about heroics, it's about transition. Harry is no longer being hidden. He's being moved into the open. This scene hasn't been revisited often in Lego form, and that rarity is exactly what makes Set 76459 stand out. Earlier, Privet Drive sets focused on the house itself. The cupboard under the stairs, the Dursleys as obstacles, comedy and confinement. Set 76,459 strips all of that away. It leaves only what matters: Harry, Hagrid, the motorbike, the threat behind them. There's no house to explore, no comfort, no place to linger, just motion. This is a small set, but it's carefully considered. The motorbike is compact and instantly recognizable. The sidecar places Harry slightly lower than Hagrid, subtly reinforcing protection and vulnerability. The pursuing figures aren't about combat, they create pressure, a sense that danger is always closing in. One of the most thoughtful details is the lamppost section with the movable plant. At first glance, it looks decorative, but when the bike moves past it, the plant shifts, creating a quiet illusion of speed and escape. Lego doesn't need a long road or a large build to sell the idea of motion. It lets the world move past Harry instead. That detail mirrors the story beautifully. The world stays still. Harry is the one in motion. For such a small set, it's a surprisingly poetic design choice. Across books, films, games, and Lego, this moment serves the same purpose. The motorbike isn't about adventure, it's about transition. It carries Harry into hiding as a baby, out of it as a young man. Set 76459 captures that idea by refusing to distract. No house, no jokes, no nostalgia traps, just a single moment of escape, frozen in time. So before I wrap this up, I like to rate each set in a few simple ways, all out of 5. First is the look of the set, how it feels when it's finished, and how well it represents what we know and love from the books, films, and games. Next is the build experience, whether it felt relaxing, how long it took, and whether it flowed naturally. Then there's nostalgia, not playful nostalgia, but emotional memory. I also like to look at value, and for a licensed set focused on a single meaningful moment, this one feels thoughtfully priced. If we look at value, this set works out at roughly 14 to 15 pence per brick. That's not cheap, but this isn't a background build. You're paying for a moment, a piece of story and a feeling. And sometimes that matters more than the numbers. For me personally, this set isn't about action or display. It's about endings, and about being carried through them. And finally, I'd love to know what it means to you. What would your rating be out of 5? Let me know in the comments. If Lego helps you slow down and breathe for a moment and escape the stresses of everyday life, you're always welcome here.